Hello, everyone and everywhere, whoever was or will be. I am Red Runner, and today I am joined by Speedy and Behemoth.
Hi there.
What's up?
And we are looking at Ant-Man versus the Atom. The image might make you think it's Scott Lang, but actually, no.
Yeah, this is not the first time they've done this. They did this for Green Arrow. Hawkeye. That was Bullseye apparently. And
what?
Oh, really? Didn't know. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
that was actually Yeah, that was Bullseye they used in the render for him. So that's kind of funny.
They almost did it for Batman vs Iron Man with the wrong.
No, I think they did because that Batman render is Nightwing.
Yeah. Apparently that's Nightwing.
I meant the other side, actually, because the Iron Man armor that was in the original draft of the thumbnail wasn't Tony.
Was it like Rhodey or something?
I think it was his brother. Wasn't
Yeah,
it like?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think something weird like that.
Oh yeah, I think no, I don't remember because like they used that was like for the preview. That was for the preview. Iron Man preview. They used the Godbuster, but it wasn't really his Godbuster. It was his brother.
In
I
the
don't remember
episode
his
itself, they used the right Godbuster, but in the
Yeah.
the image most people think of isn't actually Tony's.
Yeah.
Well, I think now the thumbnail uses is Ultimate Marvel 3 render,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I'm very mixed on certain Marvel 3 renders because I like a lot of them, but then you have ones like Hulk where I think Hulk looks ugly as hell in Marvel 3.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where they got his model from Doomsday versus Hulk from.
Yeah, and I don't like the episode surprisingly enough.
Um,
I bet I just made a lot of enemies from saying that.
but this episode, oh boy, one of the most anticipated Marvel and DC fights of all time.
And one of the most complicated. I remember in our server, I'm pretty sure we tried to talk about it, but didn't really get anywhere with it. Then for a while, people just assumed Hank won very easily. But now...
And then when we did the G1 blog, we discovered that Ray might have some broken BS that could let him win.
It's definitely still very close, though.
Yeah. It's...
I know that even though the blog had Ray take the majority of people's votes, just generally in the community, I still see more people say Hank.
Yeah, that was super funny when the blog was posted. I was like, yeah, it was pretty close, and when it drops, I still cite Hank.
I just thought, this is a episode where I feel like people are just okay. I'm not gonna say everyone, but most people are probably saying Hank because it's probably the easier choice and more people are familiar with, I guess, in a way. I don't know, but also Hank also has some big advantages, like having so many ants on his side at all times. That's a very big, yeah.
Well,
one thing that I just find fun is the fact that, despite the fact that they're logically just ants, they scale in a lot of cases.
Well, that's because they have the Pym particle technology on them, like Hank. It's funny. Yeah, all of them.
How much? Wait, how many? Okay, how many ants can you control at? Because that must be a lot of Pym particles for so many ants.
I'm not really sure how many he can control, but suffice to say, it's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to point out, it's funny that you said that everyone's siding with Hank because he's the easier choice.
Okay,
the last two Marvel vs. DC episodes that people chose the safe choice with ended up being completely different.
True.
Well, that was bad. Even though I still don't get I will say this. Looking back at it with equal stats, like what they did for the actual episodes, yeah, it makes sense that those two characters would win, specifically for Iron Man and. Wait, hold on. Now you're talking about Apocalypse.
I'm talking about Scarlet Witch versus Katana and Black Widow versus Black Adam versus Apocalypse.
Widow versus Apocalypse.
Oh
yeah,
god,
I don't know how that fight goes.
But
it's okay, guys.
They're probably going to treat these guys as equal in stats. Yeah.
Yeah. So which is why I'm thinking it would make sense for people to choose Hank because probably in an equal stats now. I mean, I know the blog had them comparable, and still Pym came out higher, or sorry, no, I mean Ray. So I don't know. This is a weird one.
Yeah,
It's a very,
and
yeah,
I'm definitely curious and then to see how they're gonna handle it.
yeah. But needless to say, I do agree with you that yeah, we should probably like people probably should have like guessed that Apocalypse and Satana probably would have won considering what DB usually gives for heralds in these in Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, do we have anything specific to say, or are we good to
I mean,
go?
I mean, the only thing I have to say is that next time, I think it might be that other fight they teased on that one panel.
I know that matchup. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I think it's probably gonna be that
They
one.
like vaguely tried to keep it secret, but I think everyone knows that it's happening by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus,
It's one of the-
Ultra literally posted the blog, like the recommended media for both characters. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, there goes hiding that.
Okay,
No,
okay.
that's the thing. Like they have yet to make a public post on Twitter or whatever saying, "Oh, it's coming."
Yeah.
But
I will say, the one last thing I wanted to say though is that just based on the preview for the animation, I like how the Hank that they're going with seems to be based off of Hank from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon show, which I hold that holds a personal spot in my heart. So I'm definitely excited to see how that's going to be handled.
Or that show is pretty good, yeah.
I know, I hate that it's canceled. I hate oh god, it gets me mad.
I'm not that familiar, but either way.
You should check it out. You should check it out. It's really good.
It's on Disney Plus.
I know,
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
I know people were happy that they were going with a young version of Hank as opposed to what most people picture.
Thank God it's
Yeah.
on Ultimate Tank.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, let's not get into Ultimate Hank.
Alright. Well, yeah, it's not up to us, it's up to these guys, and we might get it right, we might get it wrong. I don't know, but either way, let's start our show.
Awesome, guys. So guess what, guys? Red told me everything about the next server month or debate month.
Also, we didn't talk about bets. I think all of us are saying
Founding
Ant-Man.
member of the event.
That's also
Yeah,
not,
I'm going-
that's
I'm
also
going
not the right
Ant-Man.
one.
These legendary Mighty Might.
Yeah,
Good
We
things
definitely
come
didn't
Hey,
record
look.
this already.
The
Scott.
bigger they are, the
Yeah.
harder they
Oh,
fall.
yo,
We're
Ampoli!
just
Hey,
trying-
remember that?
Honey, I shook the
These
kids.
guys like boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Half tones, yay.
Let's go!
Actually, when you
Did
looked
you
at it
know
again,
that
that wasn't
ants
actually
can lift
halftones, that was
50
a
times
screen,
their
that
own
was a
body
screen
weight?
line effect.
That'd be
That
like
was
still
it.
lifting
Yeah.
a car straight over your head.
I did, thanks to my fun fact of the day calendar. Also, Hawaiian pizza was invented in Canada yesterday.
Well,
Fun.
I bet your calendar didn't tell you that Dr. Henry Pym, aka Hank, was considered a genius at a very early age. By 3 years old, doctors declared that he was
He
smarter
turned
than
into a
both
Smurf.
his parents
Oh yeah,
combined.
why is he looking like one of those Avatar
Became
people?
one of the most successful
Scientist Supreme, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Shrinking the size
There's
of
some
cargo
stuff,
to
too.
reduce shipping costs. Logistics.
All of which made him a laughing stock in the scientific community and sparked a long-lasting insecurity and need to
Oh
prove
yeah, do we know
himself.
who
But
edited
he
this
did
yet?
it. He developed
Or-
a
I think
working
it's
hero.
DJ.
He went
Yeah,
from
I think it's
laughing
DJ.
stock to Christmas stocking, the much better stuck, right behind Bean and Live.
So, naturally, he tested the
I wonder if
serum on
Origin is
himself,
working on this
like any
episode.
self-respecting scientist
You
would,
never know.
and shrank down to the size
Maybe.
of
It
an
is a Sprite episode.
And just when
Yeah.
things started going south, a sweet little ant, let's call her Aunt Hathaway, swooped in and led Hank safely back to his
Because he
lab, where
names
returned
ants, I need to
full
ask,
size.
is that real?
Hank then harnessed the serum and became the
Might be.
superhero.
I'm pretty sure he named one of his
Along with his new identity
ants.
came a fascinating
Antholomew or something like that?
entomology,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Makes total sense.
So
Ants are
it's always an
fascinating.
ant fun,
Did you
okay?
know that ants
Yeah.
can talk to each other in a bunch of different ways?
I was gonna say,
Through
Scott Lang
touch,
does that in the
sound,
MCU
or
too.
even sharing
Yeah,
information by
Anthony.
barking at each other.
It's
Anthony,
actually called
Antonio
traumatizing,
Banderas.
not perfect, per se. It's more like passing food mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
Gross.
That sounds like barfing.
I think there's some more clips of- okay.
Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
I'm gonna turn it up
And he's
just a
even
little bit.
developed genuine relationships with some ants, like Ulysses' ant here.
But he didn't stop there.
Like,
Hank developed a
seriously.
lot of amazing tech like a Stinger pistol that focuses his bioenergy into a stun
all
beam,
this stuff.
and image-inducing camouflage to mask himself as an ant. It worked so well it fooled Reed Richards,
The technology
smartest
also
guy on the
Ultron
planet.
He also
sensors.
built
Yeah,
a
that is
suit
true.
runs on that
Oh,
nifty
okay.
serum he made back in his lab. It lets him shrink thanks to the newly discovered PIM particles, named after himself.
Of course.
Classic Hank.
Yeah.
And the PIM particle is the key to unlocking the fundamental constants of the quantum mechanics at play here. They enable you to decrease the distance between atoms. However, in order to do that,
atoms.
you have to change the Bohr radius, the ratio
Oh my
of
God, I
electron
think
mass
he's gonna
to
win.
the distance
That's-
the electrons orbit an atom's nucleus.
Of course. Like how when you make a
That's
bagel
also Scott.
pizza, you can't fit
Yeah.
the pizza on the bagel. Believe me, I've tried.
What?
It's too small. You just gotta put less on.
Sure, Boomstick. So the PIM particles are actually displacing mass to
Okay,
an
sure.
alternate dimension in order to maintain that ratio.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
like having
weird.
a second bagel to put the rest of
It's
your
like they
pizza
tried to
on.
pretend
I get it.
it makes
But if
sense.
that were true, he shouldn't be able
PIM
to
particles
pull
responsible
full-size
strength to Thor level
strength if he
characters
has
like Wonder
less
Woman,
mass.
And
Yeah,
he's
okay.
That is
definitely
true.
lighter, because otherwise he'd crush the sweet antsy rides like Vince Ant-Man Go Here.
His mass is being replaced with
Are
mass.
those actual names?
But that doesn't adequately
Yes, they
explain
are.
how he can have less mass and seemingly more mass at the same time.
Sure it does, Wiz. Trust Pim and
Oh,
his
smart
Look
Boomstick's
at the guy.
back.
He's explaining
Kind
the
of.
whole
Angry
thing
Ritter
while wearing
Gamer?
a lab coat. What's more trustworthy
He's wearing
than
them
that?
upside down.
You're the exception.
You think you understand
Yeah,
this.
he's wearing glasses upside
Of
down.
course. He's small but strong. You said something about a boar, so I guess you wanted ham on that pizza, but
uses
I
the-
already made the pizza.
Will you take that coat off?
No.
Oh, it's one of Wiz's coats.
Regardless, there is virtually
It should give
no
us
limit to
superior,
Hank's
also
ability
superior to
to
Sora, who
shrink.
shrunk
He can go
smaller
beyond
little
subatomic
concepts.
and
Literal
the
concepts.
underspace, a plane of existence
Wasn't
below
that
all
determined to
realities
be,
in the
like,
Marvel
kind of-
universe.
And Hank has
Overblown.
literally changed
If I'm
his
thinking of the same
biology.
one.
He's
Smaller than I
rewritten his
thought.
chemical
No, I
makeup
think
to
that
prevent
actually did
anyone
something
else from
Scott did.
changing his size. And he's used PIM particles so much, he's now got an energy field around him that lets him change the size of people
Yep.
or objects on the fly.
That is true.
I'm talking
That
about
is true.
straight up firing PIM particles in the air.
It's
He's never shy
wild.
about using them either. He eventually supplied his wife, Janet Van Dyne, with some PIM tech to become the Wasp, his partner in crime fighting.
The two ended up rubbing shoulders with A-listers like Thor, Iron Man, and the Hulk to take down Loki. Ant-Man and the Wasp were
Wow,
actually
Iron
the
Man's
ones
old
that
costume.
captured him and pitched the idea
Yeah.
of forming the Avengers.
Unfortunately, Hank's insecurities started to creep back in, and he felt that if he wanted to keep up with the big heroes, he was going to have to think bigger.
Enter a bunch of those PIM-powered alter egos like Yellow Jacket and Giant Man, where he can grow anywhere from 12 feet tall to so big he can enter the overspace, the polar opposite of
Yep.
the underspace.
Yeah,
There
this.
he met Eternity, who called him Earth's Scientist Supreme. Something he won't let you forget.
Hank pushed himself to
That's
these
true.
insane heights, even though he knew the strain on his body could be fatal.
But he simply didn't care and kept pushing himself. Thus, his greatest and worst creation was born.
Ultron.
Oh yeah,
Ultron.
Ultron.
Yep, all the Tin Man Tron was created by Hank, not Tony like the movies. But the mass murder butt thing turned out pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Hank swinging a miss.
I just
Yep.
realized that.
The fallout from Ultron.
Ultron's
left Hank
comic
in a
book design
bad
looks like
place,
an
to
ant.
say the least.
I guess
His
that was
guilt made him
intentional.
feel like an
Probably
utter
intentional,
failure,
yeah.
that his best work was behind him.
I never
This
thought of
led
that.
Hank to do unspeakable things.
Oh no, they're
A
gonna.
real low
Yeah,
life
okay.
move.
They showed
And
it.
even though poor mental health doesn't excuse this behavior, it was clear that Hank needed help. He suffered multiple mental breakdowns, endured the physical toll of the PIM particles, and had bipolar disorder that went undiagnosed for years.
So Hank finally did the best thing he could. He acknowledged his problems, got the help he needed, and committed to self-improvement.
And with that help, Hank slowly started making things right. He rebuilt the West Coast Avengers, gave Scott Lang his blessing to become the second Ant-Man, and
Yeah.
finally defeated Ultron.
He created a backdoor Trojan infiltration code to defeat Ultron that was so advanced, it went on to replicate and evolve all on its own to create a new species made up of artificial intelligence.
I
They
feel
don't
like
call him
that
the
is
god
true.
of
I
modern
hope
AI
that went
for
well.
nothing.
Feels
Hank
like
has
it could
showed
very
over
easily
and over
not.
again that he's an integral part
Oh,
of the Marvel
I remember
universe.
this
Not
part
just
of
by
I
ways
remember
of
this
his
movie.
scientific contributions or victories in battle, but by proving that heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
Ha.
Yeah, nice
No.
ending. I'm glad
forgot.
it didn't.
Ray
I'm glad
Palmer was born
I'm glad it
an
didn't bring
average
up
human-sized
how
person.
Hank dies.
He grew up in the Northeast, studied physics at Ivy University.
Yeah, it
and did
originated the myth of
everything my
Aladdin's
Papa
lamp.
Palmer told him to do. Probably.
Everything was pretty typical for Ray until one fateful night when he took a walk to take his mind off a frustrating experiment and saw a meteor fall from the sky.
He ran off to the
Fantastic.
crash and found himself a life-changing piece of a white dwarf star, and immediately started messing around with it. Who
Yeah, because
wouldn't?
that
He
is
discovered
smart
that he
thing.
could focus ultraviolet
Yeah.
rays through it
I know
and
it was in
shrink
the
inanimate
preview, but
objects.
now I'm just-
There was just one problem. When he shrunk things, they exploded.
They
They're gonna make
exploded
this joke
every
and-
time.
I do not see the problem. Sounds like he found a foolproof way of blowing stuff up. Case closed.
Ray was determined to figure out how to shrink objects without blowing them up. But first, he went on a hike with his nature club. And as a fellow scientist, I have to question his priorities.
But hey, it seems to work for him.
Listen, social
I support it.
interaction is
Different hikes
good.
for different mics. Am I right?
While
Well,
in
who's
the
that
cave,
guy?
the
I
ceiling
don't
suddenly
know.
collapsed,
It's
trapping
like from
everyone
Rooster Teeth.
inside.
Oh, is it?
After searching high and
I don't
low for
know.
another exit, Ray found a small opening and had an idea. He could try to shrink himself down and get help, even if it meant he might explode before he got
He even
the chance.
said, I might shrink down
But
to the
he
size of an
didn't
ant.
Explode. I hope this story has
Didn't
a
he
happy
need an
ending at
ant
least.
too?
Perplexed, Ray determined there must have been something special about him that made him uniquely immune to the explosive fate. Something super scientifically convenient that we never get any more information on.
So
Exactly.
he got
Yeah.
to
They
work
never
and
explained
until
it.
the suit
I'm
harnessed
being
the
dead
power
serious.
of the White
Never
Dwarf
explain it.
star And became the Atom.
Adam uses
It
the
is the
most
light
comic
book
fragment
thing
to
ever,
increase his
but, like,
size
it's
while having
hilarious.
control over his density, which
Facing
makes a lot of
constricted
sense
over
considering
power.
that white
Wow,
dwarfs have the
they
mass
did not
of a
let
star,
that stay on
like the
screen
sun.
for very long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't get to
making
read
them among the densest objects in space.
Just a teaspoon of the stuff.
You're
could
the
weigh
most
up to
dense object in
100
space.
tons. That's one strong spoon.
When Adam shrinks and shifts his weight,
Okay,
he's
they didn't
actually
make the
sending
joke.
his
How did
extra
he
mass
pick it
to a
up?
dimension called
How
the
did he
mass
pick it
zone.
up?
Where Adam could maybe live forever. At one point, Ray's apprentice Ryan Choi was murdered by Deathstroke, but willed some of his mass to the mass zone and was.
Oh
able
my
to
God, they're
survive in that
actually bringing
dimension.
this up.
So these guys
Okay,
could
yeah.
potentially cheat death, but would be stuck there without any outside help.
But from one scientist to another, what's most impressive
Okay,
is
so they
Ray's
did say
creation
it's
of
outside
the
help.
BioBelt. That's what allows Adam to use the power of the White Dwarf and shrink while maintaining
Magic
any
satchel.
weight from immaterial to his full 180 pounds. There's even been times where it's stated that he was able to become almost as dense as a white dwarf star itself for a few seconds.
The belt is also how he can travel through phone lines or through the air on currents or light beams. Over time, Ray has spread out the White Dwarf power to other parts of his suit, and now the BioBelt acts as a utility belt for his shrunken weapons and tech.
That's
it
neat.
also
Sure.
prevents his
Yeah,
size
yeah.
or mass from being altered by any outside forces.
And while he can only
Huh.
increase his size back to his natural 6 feet in height, his ability to shrink is near limitless. He can travel between subatomic space to the microverse, the foundation
Yep.
of all reality
Yeah, okay.
in the DC universe, where atoms become the size of planets.
Typically,
Ooh.
he can increase back to his normal size with such force he can smash through diamonds. So if Adam increases his size too much while still
Oh,
within
this-
the microverse, he could blow up the entire fabric of reality from the inside out.
Shrinking down to
Suicide
that
bomb.
size
Oh,
means
gee.
that he can shrink
Oh,
small
I didn't even read
enough
what
to
that said.
rearrange atoms themselves.
Yeah, it's so.
Ray can
They-
take
they keep
individual molecules
throwing
and
things away,
rapidly
like, too
expand them
quickly.
To cook up a small
It is a
nuclear
little bit
blast in
fast,
the palm of
yeah.
his hand. Oh, Ray Palmer.
Stop.
I just got that.
Yeah, they made the joke.
rearranging its atoms. At that size, he can move at the velocity of light. So fast and so randomly, he basically acted as a barrier between any and all possible atom combinations. But come on, there's no scientific explanation here for him to have superhuman senses or awareness to comprehend being everywhere at the same time.
Ah, it makes total sense. If you're small enough, you can fit in almost everything, everywhere, all at once. Like how you can fit an entire
The movie.
pizza into a
Yeah, was that a
calzone.
movie?
And whole pizza everywhere inside the calzone. Man,
What is with
I get
boosting
it.
and pizzas today?
Science and pizza.
TMNT episode teeth?
Science is all I have. Why are you doing this to me?
On top of all Ray's amazing
Let's just have an
invention
existential
ability, Ray's
crisis.
also got some more classic weapons, like a laser blaster and a freaking sword he used to fight a giant crocodile. Relative to his size.
That was when Ray was believed to be dead, but was actually just stuck at 6 inches tall and stranded in the Amazon rainforest, where he encountered an alien race known as the Catarthans.
And get this, he ended up leading a rebellion against their tyrant king and became the ruler of all the Kardashians.
And his
No,
heroism
that's
doesn't
oh,
stop
God.
That's
there.
not what they're called.
He
Yeah.
was a very well-respected hero, and was even asked to join the Justice League of America shortly after it was formed.
He fought alongside Batman and his best bud, Hawkman.
Hawkman,
and you don't
yeah.
fight with those guys without picking up a thing or two.
Impressive
Listen, let's
combat skills
do-
aside,
okay.
Adam's greatest contribution to the
Random,
legendary
but fair
team
enough.
was always his incredible mind.
He once created kryptonite inside of Superman by realizing
By
that if he
moving
gathered
the-
up enough
yeah,
plutonium
exactly.
protons, they would eventually become radioactive.
While stranded
is
in
true.
Limbo,
Okay.
Adam realized that if the Flash sped up the rate of a nuclear reaction's stellar evolution to exhaust its core, they
I'm
could
gonna be
turn a
honest.
fire demon into a black
sure this is
hole
everyone,
and use
but
it as a
hearing all
wormhole
this,
to get back to
None
Earth.
of this is helping me
He's a
figure out who
brilliant,
should win.
hardworking, and determined
Yeah,
scientist
like,
that never
honestly,
stops
it's,
working
like,
on a
so
problem
hard.
until he's found a solution. I mean, if I figured out how to blow stuff up as well as he did, I would have stopped right there. I'm the hero that blows stuff up. Wouldn't even need to change my name.
Ray Palmer lived the dream, going from research
Okay.
scientist to legendary superhero. He picked up the pieces presented to him and built something greater than the sum of its parts.
Who knew this tiny titan with massive brains would have just as much brawn to back it up?
Woo!
God, those-
That was pretty. That was awesome.
We've run the
Oh,
day by
Superhero
all
Squad!
possibilities.
Those like
Time for
CW
a
shows
death
look so
battle!
Yeah, they are really silly. That's why I
Have you
watched
seen
it.
Have you
Okay.
seen the Gorilla Garage clip? Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
still going with Hank. Still going with Hank. Let's go, Hank. You got this.
You should pick on someone your own size, relatively speaking.
How did you do this? It's laced with a particle I've never seen before.
They're called Pym particles, and I'm Hank Pym, Scientist Supreme. You should have knocked.
his head is so small.
Really? That's how they started fighting. Ray just marched in. Ooh,
Oh, some nice stream yellow.
the way the animation looked there was...
Oh god. Wow, they are mixing the
Using
3D so much
pieces
with
of a
this.
white dwarf star? That's cute.
Everything we needed already existed. You just needed to be smart enough to put the pieces together. Scientist Supreme!
Oh shit, you better run, Hank.
Indiana Jones.
I'm glad they had something like that here.
Oh, I said the loser.
That at any given moment, there are
Oh,
about
there it is.
2.5
0.5
million
million
under
ants
your
under
feet.
your feet.
I mean, that makes sense, but why are you bringing that up right now?
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
What?
And now
The,
Adam.
the purple ants.
Doom, but ants.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
Okay, let's try this.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, they're going inside the car.
now they're microverse.
I'll hack his belt. You lay low and let me know what you find.
Yeah,
Yes,
queen. Oh, jeez, this is intense.
If I search every electron path in his gun and study their probability wave functions, I just might be able to!
Now they're
They're getting
real.
the microverse. Jesus.
Uh-oh.
What's happening? He must be reaching his limit. If we don't get out of here quick, he's gonna destroy all of reality. Now, my pets! You have your tricks and your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
Overspace.
Overspace.
You can't be afraid to think big.
Oh! Oh!
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh shit! Let's
was-
go!
Oh, no.
That
Let's
was
go!
a
Both
bit
had
much.
many answers to each other's
That was
abilities and
awesome.
arsenals. Both were able to store various
That was a
weapons
bit
in a short
much.
state.
Oh,
Both were
and they
trained
were
in judo,
stronger.
And they both could obviously keep up with each other's ability to shrink at will.
Though there was one small thing Adam couldn't answer to.
He could
The
reasonably
ants.
replicate many of his
Hank's
abilities.
bond with his pets lent him some small advantages, and Ray just didn't have enough anti-ant tools in his bio belt.
But in Adam's defense, the fact that he could punch with a fist packed with
That
all of
was
his
a
mass
bit much.
meant that opposing
Oh,
fight
God.
was
That was
small,
an
with
awesome
Hank
death.
with
Why was
full
Eternity
offense, he could only
there?
punch with his normal human
Well,
strength.
because he's in
Even
the
still,
overspace.
all Ant-Man would need to do is keep his dissed ants with the help of his insect confidence and devise another
Oh, no.
plan of ant tech. Something Hank has no shortage of.
For instance, Ant-Man could alter Adam's size thanks to the Pym particle field he generates. Hank would just need to stall long enough to remove or disable Adam's biobelt, and he's had no trouble hacking enemy tech in the past.
But even
Let's
with
go.
the bio belt busted, it wouldn't stop Adam's ability to shrink since the white dwarf power is contained throughout his suit. Destroying the belt only meant that Ant-Man could alter Adam's size.
Whereas Hank has literally rewritten his own biology to prevent outside size alteration. And while Adam's
Let's
abilities
go.
are definitely impressive, they are limited, and Ant-Man simply aren't, at least by comparison. Hank could always match Ray's size or just take the fight to the overspace where he would have the edge, both physically and mentally.
The overspace can mess with the human mind, but we've seen that Hank can handle it.
But if the Scientist Supreme is really so smart, why didn't he just immediately go up Adam's butt and blow him up from the
Stop!
inside?
Shut up!
Aren't
No!
you a fellow man
They
of
had to at
science?
least bring it up
This
once.
is the
They had
meanest
to
thing
make it up,
ever
yeah.
done to me.
Adam sized up Ant-Man, but
Seriously,
That
that
kill,
dead.
my god, look at the, yeah!
That's
That was-
like body
Uncle.
horror right there.
The winner is Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man! Woo!
Thanks for
Oh.
watching. Stay tuned.
Okay,
All new
let's
Death
see what
Battle
the next
releasing
one is.
every 2 weeks
Oh,
this
yeah, what's
year.
ne- what's
And click
next
the join
time?
button
Yeah.
to get new perks and extra
What's
content.
this song called?
High level members even see
I
Death
didn't
Not
see
Battle
that.
actual
before
size, I
anyone
think.
else,
Yeah,
so
let's
don't
see.
miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah, I knew
really
it.
is.
I knew
Oh,
it.
no, what's next? Chosen Undead versus Dragonborn or
Born.
Doomaking.
No.
Yeah,
It's
praise the sun!
Skyrim
Praise the sun!
versus Dark Souls.
Oh, Dark Souls versus Skyrim.
I
Oh,
didn't
they had
realize
Praise the
Otto-
Sun and
I didn't realize
they
Otto
had
played the
pra-
song. But yeah.
They had Praise the Sun and the wake up or the the whole thing. I don't know what it was called. The meme where like you tried to cross the border, eh? That meme.
Oh man, that was awesome. That was really cool.
I would have I liked it, but man, I wish I could just see what the pop-ups a bit more because they went by
They
so
were
fast.
very fast. Like, it was
Yeah,
difficult
the
to read them while paying attention to everything else.
I'm gonna have to like pause, like whenever you watch it, I'm gonna have to pause it just to like be like, wait, what was that?
Yeah.
Um,
Again,
that was crazy though.
the death
that was-
was a bit much, in my opinion at least.
Like, damn, they didn't have to do Ray like that.
I would say that's one of the more brutal deaths we've had in years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still say Omnilander and stuff like that.
I would say this
I mean-
is worse than Omnilander.
Yeah,
just
because all-
of the
all-
concept.
Like,
all
okay, let's
Omnilander, I was like, all Omnilander was ripping out the dude's heart and then shoving it down his throat before crushing his head. This was literally, I'm gonna grow ants inside of you until you explode. Like,
Okay, I mean, both of them are pretty brutal, but like, I still think like this is like it's brutal, but I think still some deaths have been, yeah.
I don't think anything is ever going to be able to top Shredder versus Silver Samurai.
oh yeah, that one was brutal. Like chopping off Harada's arm and then like him just being all bloody and then throwing his sword at him that impales his face. Then he takes the head off off his body with the sword on it and then crushes the head.
Yeah.
That one was
Like, that
just
is-
the bloodiest death we've
Yeah,
ever
that was just like disrespectful on a whole nother level.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I can't comment much on the analysis or anything like that. Most of this was just completely over my head. Like, what do you even say?
I mean, yeah, like they did have a lot to touch upon with these two characters, so I'm not really mad that like the analysis like was like so focused on their abilities. Like it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really actually. It's funny, they had it as a positive for Hank, but I don't feel like they ever really talked about actual
Who's stronger?
AP
Strength, yeah.
or speed or anything like that.
Yeah, they just said like, oh yeah, he's stronger.
They-
and that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
they said, yeah, that's what caught me up. They said he was stronger, and I think that was probably because they factored in overspace, which, yeah, he would be stronger at that point. But they did say that they were similar in speed. You can go back to like the advantages, like they were.
Yeah,
There was
but
actually a few that actually surprised me.
I just
Okay,
mean,
can we go back-
I just mean over the course of the analysis, they didn't actually like delve into those stats.
I just want to see what.
Yeah, that's true. Like, they didn't really
Where are we
say, like,
skipping to?
advantages
want
and
to-
disadvantages.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see it.
Uh,
Smarter.
okay.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Carl's
control.
confidence spotting that much larger arsenal can arguably shrink smaller at worst stalemates. Yeah, that is
Cannot
true.
grower than his natural. Okay, that's something I thought like wouldn't really matter in my opinion. The cannot growers than his natural height, but
Wait, that's a thing? I thought he could.
he can
Wait.
in Injustice he can, but
Injustice
not.
is the only time
Well-
he does that?
Yeah, Adam can only shrink. He can't grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, the way how that works, and like, I think there's like instances in the comics where he does grow, but it's only with outside help, and even then, Injustice, as you mentioned, that's actually Ryan, not
Is it
Ray.
Ryan?
And I think Ryan actually has developed ways to make the tech allow them to grow.
No, that's
I thought it was-
that's the funniest thing because people mix up that too. Adam from Injustice isn't Ray Palmer either.
Yeah, no, it's Ryan Choi. There's even like an intro that specifically references like where is Ray in this this universe.
Oh, okay. Weird. I thought that was. Well, I guess his costume wasn't really that different to the point where I could tell that it was someone else. But
Yeah, it's very similar in design, but like I'm actually kind of surprised that Ant-Man, like there's actually a sizable amount of no pun intended, sizable amount of advantages for Ant-Man. Like I honestly expected a lot of stuff would be equal between them, but no, they actually legit just like gave Hank all these pluses.
which I still kind of wish they kind of went into why, but
I mean,
there
well,
are,
they
there
did
are
go-
some that are obvious, like the powers
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from his body, and
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
and
that's-
smarter. I don't think many people would argue.
yeah, like no, that's fair. Like those things, but like the stronger and more durable thing. That's
Yeah.
like the
Well,
one.
They
They
didn't
can't-
talk
they-
about that much in the analysis now, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
like,
and
like
they
Benjamin
kinda-
said, it might be
Yeah, and they
because of
kind-
overspace stuff.
Yeah, maybe, but like
Yeah, they
didn't
kind of
really-
explained in the conclusion that overspace would make Hank stronger
Yeah,
because
like
that gives
but,
him
like,
an edge.
but that could have like you could have like like clarify that. Oh yeah, stronger in
Yeah.
overspace and like more
They prob-
durable in overspace.
Because they kind of glossed over overspace in his analysis when it's like, that actually will give him a really big advantage. You shouldn't just gloss it over like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely an episode you would need to rewatch to actually understand everything they said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the black bars are just so fast, and I hope they fix that for the next episode.
Also, I'm sure no one cares, but I'm interested in the fact that they tinted the titles for them. Ant-Man's being red, Adam's being blue. No one cares.
And-
Oh
I know.
yeah.
But what you know
Oh,
what
that-
I do care about? They
That's
don't
like,
have
that's
the-
like a... Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
you
don't-
say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the one thing I do care about is that they don't give plus. They don't like, they don't color the advantages and disadvantages with different colors now. Like they used to be red and blue.
Well, the
They
funny
don't
thing
do-
is, I was gonna say that when you said that like they tinted like Ant-Man and Adam to like be red and blue, I honestly could barely see that. It's like such
Yeah.
a light blue and a light red. I'm just like, oh wait.
I can kind of see the red, but I can't see the blue that much.
I guess I just have an eye for these things.
So good. The end.
Yeah, if you
I
guys
will-
like this, then leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. But either way, we'll see all of you in the next video.
Oh god, I'm coming. I have ants are in my body. Oh.